Hello, welcome to Social Perspective. Today, in Open Tutorial page, we have an article saying behavioral change can reduce transmission. Now, this article talks about the importance of behavior science in reducing the transmission of COVID-19 and also studying the individual behavior in tackling the situation and devising policies. Before going into the contents of the article, let us revise some sociological concepts related to the article. In Talcott Parsons' cybernetic hierarchy of control, he talks about social change. What is social change for Talcott Parsons is when there is change in the direction of flow of energy and information. Now, to restore such social change, Talcott Parsons suggests two ways in cybernetic hierarchy of control. One is socialization, that means imbibing values, norms, etc. The other one is social control, that means enforcement of law, police action, etc. Now, again, in Emile Durkheim's social fact, for Durkheim, social fact is something external to the individual and also something general to the individuals, which is general to every society and also which is independent of individual. Individual has no role to play in that social fact. It is coercive upon the individual. It forces individual to act in certain particular manner. Such kind of thing is a social fact for Emile Durkheim. Now, Emile Durkheim in the concept of social fact says individual behavior is influenced entirely by the society and the individual has no role to play in it. While supporting Emile Durkheim, Elton Mayo says the desire to stand well with one's fellows easily outweighs the merely individual interest. In such a manner, Elton Mayo supports Emile Durkheim's perspective on individual behavior by saying every individual desires to stand well with one's peer in his society, and that desire makes the individual to overcome his personal individual interest and act according to the interests of the society. He further says influence of informal social groups in forming attitudes and practices is much more in forming individual behavior. While confronting Emile Durkheim, Harry Elmer Baum says in criticism, individuals do many actions without any societal influence. Further, Max Weber says individuals act upon their perception or interpretation of social facts. Now, social fact, Max Weber agrees what Durkheim explained as social fact, but he disagrees in the aspect that social facts are internalized by the individuals, but individuals do not blindly act according to the social norms and conditions, but individuals interpret those social facts within them differently. Now, according to that interpretation, individual reflects upon to the society as his action. Stephen Luke says emotions and individual subjectivity have role in individual actions. Now, Emile Durkheim completely neglects emotions and individual subjectivity in individual actions. That Stephen Luke says they do play a role in individual actions. Again, Peter Burgers asks Emile Durkheim why same social facts influence different individuals differently. Emile Durkheim fails to explain why same social facts influence different individuals differently while explaining social facts. Again, in Max Weber's Power and Authority, Max Weber says power as something or ability to influence others even against their will. Now, Max Weber classifies authority into three kinds of authority. One is traditional authority. Uh, this authority is nothing but that authority which comes as a customs and tradition throughout generations. It is transmitted from one generation to other generation as customs or practices in the society or in the family. Second one is charismatic authority. This authority is due to some extraordinary characters possessed by an individual that are not generally possessed by the society. This kind of authority we generally see in uh, celebrities, film stars, sports persons, etc. Third one is rational legal authority. This authority is nothing but that possessed by bureaucracy and political leaders. They have ration behind their authority, and there is also legal sanction behind their authority. While confronting Max Weber's power and authority, Michael Foucault says power is highly dispersed and operates at different levels. Max Weber talks as if power is concentrated within some individuals or within some institutions in a society. But Michael Foucault says power is highly dispersed and operates at different levels in the society. Now, these concepts we have revised in sociology. Now, if we go into the contents of this article, we find those relevance of those concepts in this article. Firstly, when we hear the author says, we all need basic information on why masks are effective in preventing COVID transmission. Here we can remember Talcott Parsons saying social change is something when there is a change in the direction of flow of energy and information. Now, this information change we can see it is flowing towards those who are well educated and those who are aware of the COVID-19 situation in the country. For others, there is no information control over information. Such imbalance in the control of information, such change in the direction of information from one part to other part of the society is termed as social change by Talcott Parsons. Further, the author says some don't believe that masks prevent COVID infection, whereas some know and agree that masks do prevent infection but don't wear them consistently or currently for various reasons. Here we have Max Weber saying that individuals act upon their perception or interpretation of social facts. Now, COVID-19 transmission is a social fact, certainly, because social fact is something external to the individual. Yes, COVID-19 transmission is something external to the individual. Even at the against the will of the individual, it continues to transmit. It is general to the every society and general to every individual. That means COVID-19 transmission is general to every society. It is there throughout the world. It is not that only some particular sections of the society have COVID transmission and some others do not. Every kind of society, we are seeing COVID-19 transmission. Even at poor, we have seen COVID transmission. Even at well-off, that is political classes, we have seen. Even among celebrities, we have seen. Even among rural masses, we have seen. Even among urban elites, we have seen. Hence, it is general to every society. Hence, it is a social fact. The third one, it is independent of the individual. Yes, even if the individual do not wish for the transmission, even if the individual has something to do about it, it is independent of the individual. It is transmitting at its own will. It is nothing like if one particular individual is taken out of society, that COVID-19 transmission can be stopped. Nothing like that. Even if we add any individual or take any individual out of the society, COVID-19 is there as it is. That is why it is independent of the individual, and hence it is a social fact. Now, fourth one, it is coercive upon society. Yes, COVID-19 is forcing us to act in certain particular manner. It is forcing us to wear masks. It is forcing us to use sanitizers. It is forcing us to maintain social distance, whether we like it or not. Hence, it is coercive upon the individual's behavior. Hence, it is a social fact, certainly, COVID-19 transmission. In describing such social fact, we have Max Weber saying individuals act upon their interpretation of social facts. It is not that uh, as social fact is there in the society, all the individuals act in the same manner in addressing that social fact. Nothing like that. Max Weber says it depends on the individual's interpretation of that social fact. And the same thing is reflected here. Some don't believe that masks prevent COVID-19 infection, whereas some know and agree that masks do prevent infection. That means there are different interpretations of the social fact among different individuals. That is what Max Weber says. Now again, Peter Berger asks Emile Durkheim here, why same social facts influence different individuals differently? Emile Durkheim fails to explain this concept, explain this question. That is what here it is said. There we have some don't believe that masks prevent COVID-19 infection, whereas some know that some know and agree that masks do prevent infection, but don't wear them. That means different individuals are acting differently to the same situation. This is a question Peter Berger asked Emile Durkheim, and Durkheim failed to explain this question. Further, we have seen a sign of being considerate and respectful for people who have elders and vulnerable people at home. That means these kind of emotions. That means consider feeling of emotion, feeling of respect, feeling of love, feeling of affection for the loved ones or for vulnerable people among their family is impacting individuals' behavior in society. That is what here we have seen in in criticism to Emile Durkheim. Stephen Locke says emotions and individual subjectivity have role in individual actions, but Emile Durkheim does not consider these emotions to play any role in individual actions. That's why Stephen Locke criticized Emile Durkheim in saying that emotions and individual subjectivity have role. Here we have seen the same. Emotions like respect, emotions like love and affection to the vulnerable people in their own family are affecting individuals' behavior. Further, author says here, people are more likely to practice a behavior if they believe that everyone else is doing it too. That is, here we have seen. In Emile Durkheim's social fact, Elton Mayo says, the desire to stand well with one's fellows easily outweighs the merely individual interest. This is nothing but this only. People are more likely to practice a behavior if they believe that everyone else is doing it too. That means to place them on par with other individuals in society. They do follow some actions, or they do get influenced by some social facts, even against their personal interest or personal will. That is what Elton Meyer says. Further, author talks about influencers. Those influencers should be routinely seen wearing a mask or heading or heard talking about it. Now, this kind of influence, ability to influence other people even against their will, we have talked it as power according to Max Weber. What is power? Ability to influence others even against their will. Now there are different kinds of authority based on that power. There is traditional authority, there is charismatic authority, there is rational legal authority. This charismatic authority is nothing but celebrities. This rational legal authority is political leaders and bureaucracy. This traditional authority is nothing but higher caste persons influencing lower caste persons for respect for them, etc. Now, if these three authorities act in such a manner that is COVID appropriate, then others also get influenced by their behavior and they do follow the same behavior. That is what the author is trying to say here. Those influencers should be routinely seen wearing a mask or heard talking about it. Why? That authority is played well in the society. Individuals do get influenced by their actions in real. That's why author is concerned about influencers' behavior. Next, the author says we need to enforce correct and consistent mask wearing. Many people do not follow proper masking behavior because there is no consequences for their inaction. We rely only on the police to enforce mask wearing. That is what we have seen Talcott Parsons relying on social control to restore social change. Social control is nothing but enforcing law and police action. Author again talks about collective responsibility. That means socialization aspect also has been taken care by the author. In restoring social change, there are two aspects: socialization and social control. Socialization is collectively acting on behalf of society to restore social change. That is through imbibing values, morals, or norms of society, or some sort of social regulation, etc. Now, social control is nothing but social regulation through police action or law enforcement. Now, these two aspects have been talked by the author here in saying collective responsibility and a police to enforce mask wearing. Further, it is seen leaders at every level can play a positive or negative role in influencing our behavior. That is what we have seen. Uh, Michael Foucault says power is highly dispersed and operates at different levels. Max Weber talks only power is concentrated in certain institutions, but Michael Foucault feels that there is power playing at different levels in society. The author also says the same. Leaders at every level can play a positive or negative role in influencing our behavior. From the head of a family to the head of a country, leaders have to lead with empathy and build and hold the trust of the people they lead. That means there is power playing at different levels, as said by Michael Foucault. Next, the author says if fear of the threat, that is COVID-19 in this case, is stronger than our perception that we can do something about it, we will ignore the threat rather than trying to address it. This is again going back to Max Weber's criticism to Emile Durkheim that individuals act upon their interpretation of social facts, not social facts as they are. That is what we can see this article in social perspective. Further, this article is highly relevant in our chapter, that is scope of sociology and the sociology in comparison with other sciences. Here, the author has drawn many parallels in comparing or saying where sociology and psychology converge. This article can be taken down and written in exam as an example wherein sociology and psychology convert in society, that is in addressing the COVID-19 challenge in society. Moving on to the next article. Here there is an article describing that there are desperate daily workers find no takers if for even half wage. We are ready to clean clogged drains, say dejected workers. Going into the contents of the article, since the second wave of the pandemic started, most of the construction activity in both the public and private sectors have come to a grinding halt, leaving the workers numbering about 1 lakh to fend for themselves. Workers say we are ready to work for reduced pay as we cannot return home empty-handed every single day. Within their desperation growing by the day, they say they are now even ready to clean blocked drains. Lockdown restrictions in compliance of which they have to disperse by 12 noon. Police do not allow them to stay there even for a minute after 12 p.m. Now we have someone saying taking up cudgels for the hapless workers. CITO, that means Center of Indian Trade Union Leaders, CH Srinivas Rao, demanded that the government provide workers in the unorganized sector a minimum of rupees 10,000 per month and free ration supply. Now, if you look into this article in social perspective, we have Durkheim's division of labor. Durkheim divides the division of labor into two aspects. One is normal division of labor, other one is abnormal division of labor. Now, abnormal division of labor again has two types. One is anomic and another is forced division of labor. Anomic division of labor is something in which there is no social control or social regulation. There is no regulation in place. That kind of division of labor is termed as anomic division of labor. However, forced division of labor is wherein there are structural conditions, wherein distribution of tasks are not in proportion to the distribution of talent and will. Here we have seen the same. These unorganized workers have talent and will to do some higher respectful jobs, but their distribution of tasks is not in proportion to their talent. That kind of situation, Durkheim says, is inequality of is due to inequality of, leads to inequality of opportunity. This inequality is kind of external inequality. Durkheim talks about two types of inequalities. One is natural inequality. That means inequalities that are given by the nature, by birth. Others are external inequalities. Now, this inequality is something external. These external inequalities must be addressed to avoid social conflict. Durkheim feels. Like because of this inequality of opportunity, individuals become frustrated within their society. This undermines solidarity in society. Durkheim talks about two kinds of solidarity: mechanical solidarity and organic solidarity. Now, this kind of individual inequality of opportunity undermines solidarity. Durkheim feels. Why this kind of structural conditions are there in the first place? He says excess of rules, so that rules themselves are the cause of evil. We have seen lockdown restrictions here. Police do not allow them to stay there even for a minute after 12 p.m. This is nothing but excess of rules situation. These are structural conditions in the society where the unorganized workers are not able to find the tasks which are in proportion to their talent and will. They actually have will to do some higher paying jobs and higher respectful jobs, but as there are no structural conditions in place to give work according to their will and talent, they are getting ready to do some jobs which are against their talent or which undermine their talent, and they are going against their will. Hence, Emile Durkheim's perspective can be seen here. To address that situation, Emile Durkheim says we need to address inequality of opportunity. We need to ensure that there is equality of opportunity in society. However, in this kind of situation, in lockdown restrictions, we cannot ensure that there is equality of opportunity. Hence, for time being, some intermediate measures must be taken. That intermediate measures are nothing but, as CITO leader here said, unorganized sector must be given a minimum of 10,000 per month and free ration supply. These are kinds of these are not just free doles given by the government to the society, but these are actually necessary for the society to stay in solidarity. Otherwise, some individuals, these unorganized workers who are denied of equality of opportunity, they grow out of frustration and they grow some enmity towards society, and that drives social conflict in society, as this leads to alienation and exclusion. That is why, to ensure there is solidarity in society and to take forward society uh, in one hand, to fight this COVID-19 pandemic, we need such measures, that is giving them minimum wage or free ration supply for time being. However, these do not act as sustainable solutions in the long term. They are just for time being to pass the day until we get structural conditions in line with their talent and tasks. Moving on to the next article. Here we have another article saying there is Hyderabad-based NGO to set up 10-bed ICUs in government hospitals. There is an NGO called Nirman, which is Hyderabad-based non-profit organization. It is ready to set up 10-bed ICUs in government hospitals. Now we have seen someone called Karl Marx who says who puts forward economic determinism concept. He says that is economic base structure which determines socio-political superstructure. He completely ignores other aspects of the society, that means philanthropy, love, affection, etc. That's why we have someone called Jay Prakash Narayan criticizing Karl Marx, saying there is philanthropy, there is love, there is affection, there is a compassion in society, and individuals, society also moves forward basing on these things. But Karl Marx says there is economic base structure which determines social political superstructure. He says every social relation in a society is based upon economy. But as Jayaprakash Narayan rightly said, there are some NGOs here, something like Nirman. The other day also we have seen Margam Foundation in Vijayawada and Guru Gobind Singh Foundation, which are supplying Margam Foundation supplying cooked food to the to people in quarantine, as the people in quarantine cannot cook for themselves. They are utterly in weak condition. This Margam Foundation supplies cooked food, healthy food, nutritious food to them in time. Door delivery services are provided by Markham Foundation. Guru Gobind Singh Foundation also we have seen supplying oxygen cylinders to the hospitals or to the needy of COVID-19 patients. Now this Nirman NGO, Markham Foundation, Guru Gobind Singh Foundation are right examples to criticize Karl Marx, who relies on economic determinism. That's why Karl Popper says Karl Marx is an economic reductionist. He reduces social relations to such a narrow concept that everything is derived by economy. Moving on to the next article, here it is there, government keen on implementing labor codes. Labor codes, it will result in reduction in the take-home pay, higher provident fund liability of firms. Now, reduction in take-home pay, why we have labor codes in place? Why we have some concept called as labor organizations or labor bureau in place, first of all? Because we have known the relevance of Karl Marx. Karl Marx has said that in capitalist society, have class will exploit have not class, and in have not class upon continuous exploitation will get alienated to product, alienated to the process, alienated to the species being, and get alienated from society, because his value in the society is determined by his price in the labor market. That means how much salary he is driving, rather than his price according to his character, according to his morals and values, according to his intellectual standards. That is why an individual in a capitalist society gets alienated from all these things, and he grows out of frustration and he revolts against the have class or the capitalist class. To stop such revolt or to address such kind of situation, we have put Karl Marx in our minds, and we have devised some institutions called as labor bureau. We have put in place some labor codes. We try to fix wages for the workers. We try to ensure there are increments every now and then to the workers. We try to ensure there is a stake for workers in capitalist profit. We try to ensure there is social security for the workers. All these kinds we put in, all these things we put in place because we have remembered Karl Marx and his social conflict, the class conflict concept. Now implementing this labor codes and reducing take-home pay is going back again. This is a retrogressive step which forgets the relevance of Karl Marx. Though it is said there are higher provident fund liability of firms, these are actually provident fund claims are very much less in our country. So we cannot say that as there is higher provident fund liability on firms, this is not against workers. We cannot say. This is actually against the workers, and this is a retrogressive step, something forgetting Karl Marx. Now, when Max Weber tried to eulogize bureaucracy, political bureaucracy also, we have Marxian perspective in that aspect. Marxists feel that Max Weber was wrong in eulogizing bureaucracy. He says political bureaucracy always lies in tandem with the capitalists because forces of production are managed by the capitalists, are owned by the capitalists, and they are minority in the society. And hence, inevitably, political bureaucracy tries to get in line with the capitalist class and tries to align with them, and they try to heed only the capitalists. They forget the interests of the worker class. This is Marxian perspective on Max Weber's bureaucracy. Now, this is exactly what is happening here. Political bureaucracy is trying to go in line with the interests of the capitalists, and they're just trying to increase the investments by appeasing the capitalists and acting in such a manner they are forgetting the interests of the workers. They are doing these things at the expense of the workers' interests. However, these are retrogressive steps. These try to divide the society further and try to bring, these will result in bringing more social conflict in society. They alienate worker class, they result in exclusion and undermine social cohesion in society. That is what we have for today in Social Perspective. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to Social Perspective. Thank you and have a nice day.